Hey guys, welcome to Rooster's Recording Studio. My name is Alex, and today I'm going to show you how to mix guitar and bass so they'll sit together. If you've seen my recent videos, you'd know that I've been recording a song that I wrote a long time ago. But I never actually showed you guys how I got the guitar and the bass to sit. So let's dive right into it. The first thing I recommend doing is pulling up your bass track and listening to it by itself. Then add some EQ and a light compressor and try to get the bass to sound as good as it possibly can and also as close as possible to what you're looking for in the final mix. Then I'd listen to the guitar by itself and I'd do the same thing. After you get the tone for both instruments set, then you can bring the faders up and adjust the levels where you think they should be. After you get that done, then it's time to make them sit. So let's take a quick listen to the song and see what we're dealing with. So I brought the faders up, and that's the only thing I've done so far. So now let's see what it sounds like. And as you can tell, that's a pretty sloppy mix. We need to get the guitar and the bass to separate somehow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pan the guitars to the right. A lot of people say you should leave the bass in the center, but I disagree with that when it comes to mixing. Anytime you have an instrument in the center, it takes up the entire left and right spectrum. I recommend that you pan from say 0.1 to 0.5. This will give you a little more separation, but it's going to leave the instrument sounding like it's fairly still in the center. The next thing I'll do is I'll add a simple channel EQ to the bass, and I'm going to carve out the low and low mid frequencies that the guitar and the bass have in common. Before I get started, I like to make sure the volume of my plugin is the same as my recording, just by turning it on and off a couple times. And if you need to, you can adjust the gain on the plugin to get the level right. So I'm going to do a small cut at 105 Hertz. And I'm going to cut somewhere between negative 0.5 and negative 1.5 decibels. And then I'll adjust the Q somewhere between 1 and 1.5. Next, I'm going to do another cut at 270 Hertz. And again, I'm going to cut somewhere between negative 0.5 and negative 1.5 decibels. Then I'll adjust the Q somewhere between 1 and 1.5. And that's all I'm going to do to the bass guitar. On the guitar, the first plugin I'm going to use is the Waves Vocal Writer. This is an automated fader designed for vocals, but I've been using it on guitars for a while and it does a really good job. So now the volume of the guitars will stay relative to the bass line. The next plugin is the Waves SSL E-Channel Strip. If I'm not using the dynamics, I'll go ahead and bypass them. On the high filter, I'm going to do a boost at 2.4K, somewhere between 0.5 and 1 decibel. On the high mid filter, I'm going to do a boost at 1.38K, somewhere between 1 and 2 decibels. Then I'm going to adjust the Q right around 1.5. On the low mid filter, I'm going to do a boost at 970 Hz. Again, somewhere between 1 and 2 decibels, then I'll adjust the Q right at 1.5 again. Then on the low filter, I'm going to turn the bell feature on, and I'm going to do a cut at 348 Hz, somewhere between 2 and 4 decibels. The last plugin I'm going to use is the Waves CLA guitar plugin. Even when you have all of these switches set to the off position, they still have a characteristic set by CLA himself, and you really got to listen to tell what they're doing. So first, I'm going to leave the bass off, but I'm going to bring the fader up to about 6.5. Then I'm going to turn the treble on, and I'm going to set it to roof. Then I'll bring that fader up somewhere around 2 to 3 decibels. I'm going to turn the compress button on and set it to spank. Then I'm going to bring that fader down somewhere around -0.5 and -1.5 decibels. Next, I'll turn the reverb button on and set it to club. When I recorded the guitar, it already had reverb on it, so this reverb is going to add a little different character to it, but I'm going to bring it down to about -3 decibels. The delay on this plugin is really nice, so I'm going to turn it on and set it to 8. Then I'll bring the fader down somewhere between -5 and -6 decibels. The pitch button I leave turned off, but I'm going to bring the fader up no more than 0.5 decibels. So now let's take a quick listen, and you'll notice how the bass and guitar are now sitting in their own spot. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, go ahead and click subscribe and stay up to date with our latest videos. Well, thanks again, and have a wonderful day.